A flax break to break the outer shell and to expose the fibers so it can get clean. And that was used with this. And then when that was done, they had it more flexible and wavy. And then they took it over to the scutching board, and this is a scutching knife. Scutching is the German word for beating. And that's basically what they would do. They would beat it. Heschel is the German word for comb. So they would run it through the heschels. And that would basically work as well as a comb. It would remove the knots. And when it was all done, they would hang it in their attic as a strict of flax. And this could last, if undisturbed, hundreds of years.
They built a grist mill, and of course they made their home here. We call it Fort Freeland, but of course it was just the Freeland home. But all the settlers in the area, 121 of them in total, came here and fortified their house. So we call it Fort Freeland. It was just a fortified house.
I've been doing reenactments, living history, demonstrations, and programs for schools and talks for 35 years. How I got started, I can't tell you, except I had as a youth a very interested father who saw to it that my brother and my sister and I knew about what had happened before us and nurtured that. On this site stood Freeland's home, as you've heard. The day the battle occurred, July the 28th, 1779, right behind me in the meadow was the final phase of that battle, where a number of patriots were killed as they came and to the relief of the people here at Fort Freeland, not realizing that it had capitulated and that they were indeed in big trouble. There were over 300 combatants on the British side, Crown forces, 36 in Boone's and Samuel Docherty's party of the relief forces. So they're outnumbered roughly 10 to 1. They had no hope. A number of them did escape, a number of them didn't, quite a few did not. It was short and ugly. Now, why do we do this kind of a thing? Why do we play this game? We don't glorify war. We do not glorify war. We portray these battles, particularly on the sites where they happened, so that the people who live here now and in the future will never forget what happened here. So all this stems from what these 21 patriots gave their lives to give to us in 1779, and we don't want anybody ever to forget it. We celebrate them, their lives, we honor them. And we fully realize too that when we have our native brothers here with us, we honor them and include them. We're no longer enemies, we're very good friends, and it's important to hear their side of the story as well as our own.
Well, my brother and I are both of Lenape heritage. We've come down to the Heritage Days here for quite a number of years now. Our part in the battle here is as scouts to the British Rangers that came down here and captured the fort and wiped out the relief column that came to their aid. We do it every year. We take a lot of pride in what we do, so we keep coming back.
One more touch on this for centering. I'm going to do an opening process with my thumb and just stop about a quarter inch from the bottom, roll my thumb under, and then roll my whole hand back, one motion. You always want to kind of release before it gets to a dead stop. I mean, because that'll always, you know, that'll leave that irregular spot again. I'm using knuckling. You see how I'm using my knuckle on the front edge on the outside. Just gives me a little more push on a thicker bottom like this, as opposed to just using my fingertips. And we'll do another draw with the knuckle.
Okay, what we're doing today is splitting white oak logs, and we're using steel wedges and also wooden gluts or tapered wooden wedges to hold the log open while we keep moving the metal wedges up the log. And most logs would be about 11 feet in length for a 10-foot spacing between posts.